Welcome back to a more somber edition of Ring the Bell and King Caleb Ash. Right now it's September 21st when we're recording. Don't know when you're watching, but the Phillies are now 3 games back. They just put up a run against the Orioles, their first run in 20 innings to tie the game. But all right, Caleb, I just want to hear your thoughts because we haven't talked on here in a while. Why can't we beat bad teams?
Oh, it's like every single time we play a bad team, Orioles, Diamondbacks, whoever, we play down to them. We play down to their level, and our for whatever reason, our bats do not come alive against pitchers who everyone else in the league destroys. Like pitchers with like 7.6 ERAs or higher, who clearly are getting rocked by everyone else will go an inning scoreless against us. Like that's happened multiple times this game already.
I'm going to give you a name. Let me know if you recognize this name. Hold on. He pitched tonight, 2 2/3. Thomas Eshelman. Recognize that name? No, you don't recognize that name. He is a 7.5 ERA. He did give up an earned run, but he wasn't the one. Like, it was his runner left stranded on base. He got 8 outs and gave up 2 base runners. It's like, come on. He's pitching his fastball at 86 miles an hour. He's not good. This is a pen game for the Orioles. We're not doing it. And Bryce Harper, talk about him later. MVP, great. Tonight, he had a man on third with 1 out, struck out. Then he had a man on first with 1 out. He singled, got Segura to third, but tried going for 2, reckless base running, out. And, then we didn't score. It was a couple mental or, bad situational spots for him tonight. It's like John Means is good, but don't get shut out. When the pitching's there, the hitting's not. When the hitting's there, the pitching's not.
100%.
We got 12 games left. And I'm not going to talk about how the schedule is easy. Now, if I were to talk about how we have the Orioles and Pirates at home for the next 6 games, including the one tonight, and how we should win at least 5 of those, maybe I'd say that if we could beat those teams. But I don't think we can. So I'm just going to say we have 6 more at home against nameless teams. Then we're going to play Atlanta. That's the series we're probably going to have to win 2 out of 3 or sweep, depending on how the next 6 games.
If we don't take 2 out of 3, it's over. Like there's no.
Correct. And something I think that is notable is that if we win 1 game in that series, we have the tiebreaker. Like, we're going to need to win 2 anyway. But if we win the series and season ends in the tie, we have the tiebreaker over the Braves, which, I mean, it's coming down to it. It could help. And something else that could help, the Braves are down 5-4 in a game that was suspended. It's in the 6th inning, and it's a 7-inning game. So if the Padres can maybe close that out, win 2 games in one day, that could help us. But I think for the Phillies right now, it's about winning games.
We can't, at this point, we can't worry about what the Braves do. They're going to lose some, they're going to win some. We need to win ours. Yeah, you're right.
And I think also, the Braves are out on the West Coast, and I heard this earlier today. They were talking to Girardi on MLB Network, but they were like, do you like being the team that plays first? We're going to play before the Braves almost every night. Physically, we're playing the games earlier.
Right,
so they'll see our score, more pressure on them. I don't know how real that's going to be, but I would like to end our games a half game up so far on the night. You know what I mean?
100%. Because the Braves are starting right now, I think.
Yep, 9:40. Yep.
Yeah. So that's you take any advantage you can get in a tight playoff race, and if that's an advantage or not, I don't know. But if it is, then you take it. It's something if you can go and end a game and you're already half game up, then okay, we've done our part. It's not up to us anymore. That's a good thing for the players to have, I think.
Leadoff single for Galvis to start the bottom of the 7th inning. Can have a pinch hitter up. Speaking of pinch hitters, I'll say that Torreyes has done a great job this year. Now, he's out of the lineup now, which is good because he shouldn't be in there every day. But when he was in there, he did his job, and I set it all. Where would we be without him this year? And that goes for a lot of the bench players. Torres should not have been playing this year. Brad Miller should not have been playing this year. Odubel Herrera was the fourth center fielder we brought up. I know it feels like ages ago because he's been good for us. Good, I mean, not great, but better than Mickey Moniak and Roman Quinn and Adam Hazley, who's still in Clearwater. Why? I feel like we had more depth. Torres is pinch hitting now. Matt Joyce the worst baseball player you've ever seen?
He's terrible.
I mean,
He's so bad.
The bench has been good this year. So that's why I wanted to preface that, because the bench has been good. Marchand was good when he came up. He had, I'm sure you know this, but to all of our viewers who don't, he had 2 homers in the major so far. He had 0 in 1,000 plate appearances in the minors. Isn't that crazy? And they were big homers. That one in Washington. And then he had one last year against the Mets in a big game. Didn't end up making the playoffs, but he still hit it. The bench guys have been good. Joyce and Moniak shouldn't. Moniak's the worst pitcher on the roster, or the worst hitter on the roster. The pitchers are better hitters.
I think I've seen Aaron Nola put together many better at bats than Mickey Moniak this year.
Small sample size. Ranger Suarez is batting over 200.
Yeah.
Mickey Moniak's strikeout percentage is like 48%.
Well, Ranger Suarez does he have multiple extra base hits this year?
He does. He has a couple of doubles. And
right, I know he has at least 1 double.
We have no set plans for this podcast, but let's talk about Ranger Suarez, because I will tell you, I'm very excited for a full season of Ranger next year. Obviously, I'm focused on this year, like, let's make the playoffs. But, like, what a guy. Like, he just plays, and it's so refreshing. He pitches. He doesn't have the best stuff. He's solid command, but he's, like, just pitching. And I just love it. Like, he's not scared. He piggybacked Howard at the start. Then we needed him to close. Then we needed him to start. His ERA is still below 2. Last night gives up 2 first-inning runs, blanks him the rest of the game. I think he's a good pitcher. I think he's a good 4-5 pitcher in the majors. And I think we're going to have a good rotation next year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much of his like play this year and his ERA specifically has been luck or the fact that people haven't seen him before. But I think he can I think he can be a borderline 3rd in the rotation.
All right. You bring me to the next point. We're going to go fast. You're 3rd in the rotation. The rotation next year is Wheeler, and then the next 4 are Nola, Gibson, Eflin, and Suarez. And I think the order could be anything for those 4 guys. We don't know what Eflin's going to be. He'll probably be back in May. He'll probably miss the first month of the season. Maybe not. Maybe he'll miss like a week or so. Nola might not be good. Is Nola good?
I don't know anymore. I think that Nola will come out as the number 2 next year purely because he has been good and he's shown flashes of being good, and he's also like the greatest pitcher in the MLB through 4 innings.
It's crazy. What's crazy about Nola is he has like such good advanced stats. Like his strike, he's striking out everyone. Every batter he faces,
his strikeouts per 9 is insanely high. It's higher than Wheeler's, I think, right?
For his career, this is just a stat I heard the other day. He's striking out 16 batters per 9 innings at Citi Field. He just owns the Mets at Citi Field. That's where he had his 10 straight strikeouts earlier this year. Mm-hmm. That's a bit off topic, but he strikes everyone out, and then he'll hang an 0-2 curveball, and it's always a 3-run home run.
It's so bad. He has a great start, and you're like, oh, this is his start. Then he gives up a homer or 2, and all of a sudden he's giving up 3-4 runs.
Yeah. I mean, the Cronenworth one sticks out, but he shouldn't have been in that spot anyway. That one's in Joe Girardi. And
that was tragic. That made me sad.
I'm sure we did a podcast since this, but he left in Wheeler against the Rays.
Yeah, I think we actually did
just send it to the moon. He didn't learn from his mistakes.
I think we did our last podcast after the Wheeler Rays, but before the Nola, or maybe it was during the Nola.
Nola went before Wheeler. The Cronenworth homer was before the Wheeler Rays.
Was it? Okay.
Yes, because
I thought Wheeler got left in first and then Nola.
No. Do you want to know why? Because I was sitting at the Rays game and I looked at my dad. I was like, is he going to do this again? I remember saying that about leaving in the starter in the ninth, and he did it again, and it came back to bite him. Kyle Gibson might also not be good, or he's not bad. He's okay.
He was a spider tech merchant at the start of the year. That's why I mean
Was a
it's clear
spider
that he's not. It's clear that he's not the all-star that he was for the first half of the year. He's fine.
Yeah. I think that going into next year, we have one great pitcher and four fine pitchers with potential, which is a lot better than one good pitcher, two fine pitchers with good potential, and Chase Anderson and Matt Moore. So it's an upgrade, I guess, from this year.
It is. And hey, this year we started 4-1. Just saying.
Oh man, do you remember? It was the Braves, right? Yeah, Segura walked it off to start the year.
Yep.
Chopper over third.
Yep.
Simpler times. Alec Boehm was playing baseball. So, all right, going down the pitching line because this is just where we've went so far. The pen, past couple nights has been good. I think if they're all healthy, they're fine. I mean, 32 blown saves is 32 blown saves.
Mhm.
Kennedy's been rough in the ninth inning, but I mean, he had the 2 inning save, and I think Miami. He had a big save the other night in New York. I don't know what to think about Kennedy.
I think that we need not a replacement soon because he's been good. But he's not Mariano Rivera to where he's going to pitch until he's 40 and be good.
Yeah,
He's 36 already.
Yeah, this is the
Like,
last year of him for sure.
I don't think we can. First of all, come playoffs, if we're blessed, if Adonai comes down and sends us to the playoffs, then Ian Kennedy is our closer. Like I feel like that alone puts us in danger. I don't feel comfortable with that at all. But come next year, if Ian Kennedy is our best relief pitcher, then we aren't going to do anything.
I'm trying to think of a way. All right, let's say we made the playoffs. Do we start Ranger game 1 and then have him close games 3 through 5? Is that a possibility? Is that something that can happen?
Hey, that'll win him some series MVPs because that's what Mad Bum did in the World Series, at least.
I mean, geez, we have 4 pit. You know what? I'll say it. I like the pen before the 9th inning. I like Coonrod. Brogdon's hurt, but I like Brogdon. I don't like Archie Bradley in September.
He has blown it, by the way. Quick round on Archie Bradley. I thought he was going to be our guy coming into this year, and I think a lot of people did. And he just every time he comes in, it feels like he ruins the Phillies games.
You know who we need to resign? As I hope I don't jinx this pitch. I waited till it went in for a strike. We need to resign Hector Neris. This man can pitch, and can't close. He can't close. So don't get a closer. That isn't him. And have him be that guy.
Yeah. I think he was our closer and he was fine for a little bit. I think he kept the role a little too long, and I think he's great going into the 7th inning.
Yeah.
I think he really is a good pitcher. When he's on, he really is a good pitcher. And I think it's perfect for like the 7th inning.
Yeah, I know. I 100% agree. He's going 7th and 8th tonight.
Right.
Oh, strike 3. Got him. Mancini, 3 pitches. I like Hector. I like Hector Neris. Not in the 9th inning. I don't like any of our. The 9th inning is so stressful. It's crazy. We'll go up 7-1 in San Diego. I don't know if you remember this game, and we'll put in Bailey Falter, and he'll give up the bases loaded with 1 out, and then Nola's brother Austin will hit a 3-run double, and bang, the tying run ends up coming to the plate, no matter what. This team really makes you sweat. All right, moving on from pitching. I'm just gonna go down the starting lineup. We'll see where we go. Odubel Herrera, fine. I want a new center fielder, but fine for this season. Right?
Right. I agree. I think we weren't going to get anything like serious, like outside of that. Like we can only dream of having gotten Starling Marte, but he's interdivisional, or he was.
Buxton.
Buxton, right.
Who else? Mitch Haniger, like 20 games into the season when the Mariners were selling Mitch Haniger.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think you I don't know where I don't know what I forget what I know we looked at it last time. I forget what free agency looked like. Um, in terms of outfielders at least. But if we could pick one up, great. I don't know how much money we're going to spend free agency after everything we've done. And it's at least on a high quality player. So I think if Odubel comes back and is our center fielder, I'm fine with that.
Okay, first off, I'm not fine with that. Number one. Number two, we just started an amazing double play to get out of the eighth. I'm not fine. No. Odubel Herrera. I'm fine if Didi isn't in the lineup. I'm fine with Odubel Herrera if Didi Gregorius is not in the lineup. I don't want Odubel Herrera leading off. I want Galvis to stay at third or Galvis to move to short.
I agree.
And pick up either a good shortstop or a third baseman. And it's, you know what's crazy? Like, we say this, and it sucks to say, but I kind of believe we have to start it over. And it's like, it's tough because, like, if you show me an opening day lineup next year and we have, oh my God, I may have forgotten, Bohm can't play third, but Bohm will be at first. Reese will be DHing if it's universal. We have Correa, Galvez, Segura, Harper, Herrera, but in the 8 spot and some new left fielder, unless I will say, if we sign McCutchen for like 1 year, 2 million, I'm cool with that. I don't mind McCutchen, just not on this contract. He's not going to play every day, but I think it's an organizational issue. I really think it's an organizational issue. We don't bring anyone up. We have none of our own talent on this team. Reese Hoskins, Freddie Galvis, but not really. It's like, who have we brought up? Bohm, right back down. Pitching wise, Nola. I think we need to bring guys up.
What do you think about Dave?
About who?
Dave Dombrowski.
He tried. It's year one. I think that the issues are from Clintac, and I like Dave. You know what? Do you want to know what I like about Dave? He's gonna do things.
Yeah,
That's nice. And I know Clintac did things, but Clintac did things to do things. Dombrowski will do things
to be productive.
To be productive to a plan that he thinks will make us successful. Now, will it work? I sure hope so. But like, who that Didi Gregorius is like? That's a bad contract. McCutchen is a bad contract.
Mm-hmm.
He's got some stuff to work with, and obviously we were not willing to go into the luxury tax at the deadline. Like, we didn't do that. I wish we did. I wish we had Buxton on our team right now, but we don't.
Right. It's always everyone's always no salary cap in the MLB. Well, there basically is.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to go into the luxury tax.
Dude, I mean, everyone, all the Mets fans, which I hate, are like, Steve Cohen is like the richest owner, which he is by so much. But yeah, he's the richest owner in the MLB. He's not just going to spend recklessly.
Yeah.
He paid $340 million to Francisco Lindor, who's batting what, 228 right now, with like 17 home runs, and
not
he
even
like did this stuff, and it's like, it's a bad look. He's not going to just spend. No one's just going to spend.
Unless you're the Dodgers.
We have the 5th highest payroll in the league.
Right.
The Rays are like 28.
The A's are down there too.
But it's like they bring up their people. The Rays brought up Wander Franco. They just brought up Boz the other day. They brought up Walls earlier.
Baez. I always thought it was Baez.
Boz. I thought Shane Boz, B-A-Z.
Yeah.
They brought up Tyler Walls. Like, they just bring up guys. Freaking Arozarena, they bring him up, and he's the best playoff player ever. It's like, I think that's how you have to win, unless you're the Yankees or the Dodgers. I don't. But man, if we had like Carlos Correa next year, like, am I going to complain? No. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I get you. I don't know. It's a weird spot. The Phillies are in because like you posed, like, do the Phillies press the destroy button on this team? We aren't winning. Like, we're not winning, but like, it's like we're here. It sucks. I would hate hate to put Bryce Harper in a position where he's giving us years of batting 300 and having a 900 OPS and being an all-star
No,
for the next 3 years, and
you're
we suck.
so wrong. I have to stop you. His OPS is over 1,000.
I'm saying in the future. I know. I'm very aware of
OPS
what
is
his stats are now.
over 1,000. Continue.
I'm very aware of what his stats are now. I'm saying in the next, like, I don't think he's going to sustain this for 3, 4 more years. It's very good, but I trust me. I have kept track of Bryce Harper's stats the last 3 weeks, like every day, how they change, and it makes me sad when he gets below like 313 batting average. Anyways, doesn't matter.
It's just
My point is I would hate to waste the rest of Bryce's harm.
Bryce Harper, deep right field. It drops in. If he gets thrown out at second base, I will fucking shoot him. Oh, family podcast. Well, he got into second base. No one wants to this point anyway. Bryce with the lead up double to start.
Anyways,
it's yeah, and then like you see that leadoff double to start the 8th inning, and his helmet flies off rounding first. And it's like we have to build around this guy. This guy
he's lovable. He's like a lovable guy at this point.
Dude, he carries his team. I mean, Rhys Hoskins also, like, if we had him in this lineup, it's completely different.
I agree.
It irks me because we have the pieces. Bowman's going to be back next year. Eflin's going to be back next year. Hoskins is going to be back next year. I assume we will pick up a center fielder or a shortstop, one of the two. At least Galvis over to short or third and Bowman. So it's just like we have JT Realmuto, who's having a down year hitting, but I don't know if you saw his catch behind the plate today. It was crazy. Into the wall, broke the freaking ledge on the bottom, making the catch.
Mm-hmm.
We have the pieces, so you can't blow it up when you have all the pieces.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I so agree with you that like we have players who should win games. We just aren't winning games.
JT ground out to second, moves Harper over. Thank you for doing a situational thing, JT Realmuto. It's like, do you know what the issue is? The real issue is, and this is like, I've said this before, and this will be my last point because we have been on here for 20-some minutes.
Tell me, Mr. King, what's your last point?
Time flies when you're talking Phillies. The team is losers. They're losers. And they're not losers like, oh, I'm in a 2000s high school movie. I'm going to call the kid sitting by himself at lunch a loser. No. Losers as in they don't know how to win. They don't win. They find ways to lose. You go down the pen, it's like no one in the pen's really bad, but we have the most blown saves in franchise history, and we're two or one off the pace of the MLB record. It's like we find ways to lose every night, and it's like that's why I'm saying it's organizational. Like you have all the pieces there, but for some reason they just don't fit. And it's like this is a great analogy because I'm going to add on to it right here, Caleb. Look at this. You don't know if you're one piece away from finishing the puzzle or if the puzzle just freaking doesn't work. You know what I mean? Like we could be one Carlos Correa away, and I'm sure that's how Dombrowski's thinking about it, or maybe not Carlos Correa, someone. There's so many free agent shortstops. We're just him and we're good, right? But what if we're not? What if it's an organizational issue and we just keep trying?
That's the multi-million dollar question. It's how close are we, and are we ever going to get there? Is it a situation where we keep building and building, and we build the tallest tower in the world, but it's on a base the size of a twig?
Right.
It just all falls down every year.
Oh, play at the plate. Harper is out by so much.
Why? What happened?
Is infield in. He ran on contact and
he ran on infield in grounder.
When I tell you that wasn't even close to a play. Joe Girardi's trying to get him to take a look. You'll see this later, I'm sure. Ground ball to second, and he just runs. And he's out by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps and doesn't even slide because it's not even close. This is what I'm saying. You find ways to lose every night. Just figure it out every night. All right, you have any final thoughts before we go watch this? By the way, we're playing the Orioles. They're 54 games under 500. They'd given up 9.95 runs per game over their past 9 games, and we come in and we've scored 1 run in 16 and 2/3 innings.
It's terrible. I have nothing else to say. That's it.
I don't know, man. Are we one piece away, or is this team just losers? I don't know.
That's the question we'll leave the audience with till our next episode. We'll definitely do one before the postseason, or depending on how the Phillies play.
You know what? This is what
after
we're
the
gonna do.
season.
This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do one if it matters, because the way that just I mean, whoa! I don't know what I just watched from Bryce Harper and Matt Vierling and third base coach just now. But if the Braves series matters, we'll do one the night of the first game of the Braves series or the night before, because that's it. Maybe we'll do one after the Braves series if we're in it. You know, as long as we're in it, we're gonna do a lot of them. And then we'll do one after the regular season. And we'll do one after the World Series.
I can
Do
get
one
down
after the World Series.
like a off-season preview kind of
Like
thing.
an off-season preview and a postseason recap, because MLB.
What's the Philly? Once I've seen my first World Series game in Philadelphia,
What?
we're going to the World Series.
Dude.
If
We
only
have,
we did a podcast a week ago when people were saying that.
we have Didi Gregorius batting fifth. Didi Gregorius. We're not going to the World Series. Okay. Peace.